USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Get into your body's vitals with the Vitals app on Apple Watch.
I wanna get into my body and let my skin do the talking. I wanna feel like I'm myself again.
The Vitals app tracks key overnight metrics so you can spot changes in your health before you feel them. The Vitals app on Apple Watch. iPhone XS or later required. The Vitals app is for wellness purposes only and not for medical use.
I knew it. Another Herdat Media production.
Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
Hey, guys. So on today's episode, a lot happened this weekend, by the way, which is really weird because usually crazy stuff doesn't happen on Fridays or Saturdays, but it did. So we have some hot topics that we're going to be covering on the episode. And we're also going to be recapping Atlanta and talking about Brit Eady's lawsuit towards Bravo. So lots to talk about. A lot of you guys were disappointed that we only did 2 episodes last week. I'm sorry about that. And a lot of you were like, there's so much going on. We want to hear from you. So yeah, we're good now. We're back. We're back. My husband's back. We're good. So we will definitely be reporting. We're also going to start talking about Love Island. I think we're going to do weekly though, because it's just so much. And I do know Chantel kind of so far is like about the people, but yeah, I feel the opposite.
That's weird. No, you're sitting there watching it and you're saying, oh, I like this, and I like the people.
You know what I think contributes to that? Me being on TikTok.
But that's what I'm saying. So are you watching or are you just watching TikTok?
No, I'm watching. I'm watching completely full time, but just the hype around TikTok. They make everything so hype,
I know, but I've seen some TikToks. I did want to see what people have found out about them, which we'll talk about in the next episode.
Yeah.
Talk about it. But I just even that I was just oh no, this is not the crew so far. They definitely are not going to be last year. They're definitely not going to beat last year's people. How much we love them that they got their own spinoff show.
Well, yeah. Tune into our next episode where we talk about it. This is a huge deal because if you're on our Patreon, which by the way, you can join our Patreon. Don't ever do it through the app though, because they charge you more. You can go on the app after, but definitely join us on Patreon. We have a really great community there. But if you're on our Patreon, we do 2 additional episodes. So in the episode, Chantel and I were talking, and we were literally talking about how Brit Eady from Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to leave with, and cause some chaos. I don't know if you remember, Chantal, I was literally saying she is going to come after Bravo. She is going to do something. She gave me that vibe from the beginning that if things don't go her way, she will us, Chantal, I feel like we're almost bad to a fault where we just let things go. But I knew that she was going to do something, especially because she didn't show up to the reunion. So yeah, I was
you were trying to come up with the reasons why did she not show up to the reunion? And you basically were saying she's coming after Bravo. There's no way she's not.
Yeah, because you're not gonna listen, the reunions for clarity and stuff. And
You don't get paid if you don't go to the reunion, right? Like
no,
that's on.
no, you still you you get paid to go at to the reunion, but that's outside of what you get paid for being on the
No,
show
I
per
was saying like
episode,
if you don't show up to the reunion, like don't they have in the contract like they don't pay you for
just for
the
the reunion.
oh okay, not just for the season either.
No, yeah, no, God, no. Can you imagine what she would do there?
Well, but like that's like the incentive. Like you need to finish off your season and you need to show up.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they are working as like a contractor and they did do their part. So that's why for the reunion, they do get like a nice little bonus. But if you don't go, you don't go. Um, but to me, it's just clear that Brit saw the writing on the wall. There was little audience connection. There was nothing about her that anyone could relate to. She knew, here's what I'm going to do. Either I go on to the reunion, all these ladies come for me because they've seen on social media that I'm not everyone's favorite and I have to defend myself and it's like 5 against 1, or I know a return is unlikely. I don't have that connection with anyone. So what she did was skip the reunion, exited on her own terms, and is now suing Bravo for 20 million. She's not going to be able to say, oh, and here's the thing, had she gone to the reunion and tried to sue, they would be like, but you came to the reunion. You were fine enough to come to the reunion. You didn't go through some like distress situation because you came for clarity and all this stuff. So she knew that, of course, like to them, being on the show was everything. She knew, like, I'm not coming back. They're not going to ask me back. So why would I even go to the reunion, which is a smart play? But she's just very cowardly because it's like all this mess for what,
But you know what's weird is that like she showed up to Watch What Happens Live, and she did an episode obviously with them, like, and it's like then if you already have these feelings like watching, it's like when did she think to herself like okay, like let me do this?
Okay, so let me explain something to you guys. So when a reunion is about to come, they give you it's either 3 or 4 episodes right before the reunion to catch up on. And that's also when she came and she said, I found out that the photo wasn't me. And so I think what had happened is she watched the last 3, 4 episodes prior to the reunion because they give it to you right before the reunion to watch. And then you come to the reunion so that you're able to discuss everything. And I think she saw something where maybe she felt like they're going to do me dirty. And that's when it switched, where it's like, this is my only opportunity. There's no way they're asking me back. I don't have a fan base. I don't have people siding with me. It's just like too much controversy for my first season.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, like watching it now, like this episode today, knowing what we know, like she really is so problematic. But like, how does Bravo production not see that before hiring these ladies? Like, they need to do a better job because, like, how do you not see that she is that person? She is that type of person that would come after you like that.
The problem with the show, and we're going to talk about this, is they cast people. I know that she's like newly married or something, but for the most part, they're not casting the traditional housewife. They're trying to get away from that. And whether you like seeing a traditional housewife or not, people do watch that. People do like seeing their life unfold, or, like they're not in a great relationship. And, people live through that. She is not like your classic Real Housewife. So, I think that from the get-go, a lot of people were saying on Twitter, I'm sorry, on X, and that she's like a love and hip hop type of person. She's not a Real Housewives of Atlanta type of girl. And I do think it showed because, and I don't know if they do this on Love and Hip Hop, so I don't want to say too much, but I have seen like scenes on TikTok of it, and they are more where they'll fight more and there's not like, you'll get in trouble like you do in Real Housewives or whatever.
Like, there's so much aggression that comes from her. And it's like, whoa, like kind of like, it's like almost like.
No, she's defensive. She's so defensive.
And you feel the energy. So it's like like when her temperature goes up a little bit, like everyone feels so off because they're like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to argue with someone like that. You're almost like, okay, what? Okay, like calm down. Like, it's not that deep. Why are we going that far? And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's just her energy. It's like she doesn't have to say much as her energy.
100%. A source told people that Brit was estranged from her co-stars towards the end. After news of her absence broke, Shamia revealed that their fallout came after Brit reportedly made comments about her daughter. Brit and fellow newcomer Kelly are also currently estranged, and we kind of see the beginning of that and why that happened. So we do see that. And then again, on her story, she said that this was her decision and the events of the season have devastated me. While I cannot say much, I do want to set the record straight that the graphic photo in episode 5, it was not me. And that's kind of crazy because we're all like, wait, what? And in her lawsuit, she's suing Bravo, NBC, production companies, True Original, and I think it's, I don't know how to say it, Endemol Shine North America, alleging defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, false light, sexual harassment, and hostile work environment. And what they're going to need to see is that when this was happening, she was going and seeing a therapist. When this was happening, she had to make an appointment with a doctor because like she is so stressed. Maybe she needed some medication. And if she doesn't have that stuff, it's going to be very hard to prove where it's like, why now? And something that you guys should know is like some people are like, do you have a case? I think what she said in her lawsuit is that she asked producers to see the photo and they refuse, which is that is concerning. But I've read the contracts that these housewives sign, and they're essentially signing their rights away. The language makes it clear in these contracts. Bravo can do whatever they want with your image and storyline, and you're basically handing over full control. So, you know, there was an episode that Jennifer Aiden talks about the contract and how Bill was so scared to sign the contract because he's like, this is crazy. They're literally saying they could defame you and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's why even if like that one part of it's true, like where they're like, you know, they didn't want to show it to her, why is it $20 million worth?
Right. Exactly. It's all like, I mean, you could even see through this episode. Again, Real Housewife material, she does not give it, even money-wise, like does not, I don't know. She doesn't give me anything about being like a lavish Real Housewife. But she also, oh yeah, so she says that she repeatedly requested to see the images, but did not see the explicit photograph until after certain of these events were aired on Bravo nearly a year later. Defendants willfully, intentionally, recklessly, and or with gross negligence produced, edited, and aired an episode of Atlanta on April 6, 2025 that included footage of a certain of the cast member statement and issue, as well as commentary from other cast members that described the photographs displayed. Further, the manner in which the episode was aired falsely yet unmistakably implied that the graphic sexual photograph presented by the cast member depicted Brit. On information and belief, defendants knew that the photograph did not depict Brit, or at least were reckless or grossly negligent in failing to learn that the picture did not depict her. So they're saying, so I don't get it. Did all of the other housewives know it wasn't her?
I mean, I don't know if they stared at the picture for that long. Cause like it seemed like a lot of them were upset when that came out, and like they were just like over like, you know, that whole situation. But what's crazy is that like where does she get this picture from then? Like what girl is that? Like that's like who they should be afraid of.
Right. And so another thing the attorney said was, by the way of foregoing, defendants contributed to the hostile work environment for Brit and sexually harassed plaintiff by subjecting to unwelcome, offensive, and sexualized behavior and comments based on her gender, by requiring her to continue working in an environment in which she had been subject to a gendered attack, creating an inferior condition or privilege of employment because of her gender. Wait, what?
Yeah, wait, what?
What does a gender have to do with anything?
I don't know, because she's a woman or something that like that they're doing that to her.
I guess they're saying that the immediate removal of the episode from public access on all platforms, networks, and media outlets in the defendant's control, along with a public statement acknowledging that the episode shared a false narrative of Brit and a monetary award that includes coverage of legal fees. And she's sued. Okay. So, I mean, like it's out there. Social media is a crazy thing. TikTok is a crazy thing. Everything is out there. We never actually saw the photo. And if it's not you, then I mean, I get it. Like it sucks, but like you thought it was you because you did take photos like this. So what's the problem?
I think it's like what you said from the beginning, like your theory of just like her realizing like this is not going good for her. And she's that type of girl that's like gonna try to get revenge if she can.
I think they need to fire whoever cast her because she never gave Real Housewife energy from the beginning. It was like,
I agree.
This
just
is
so
not
crazy.
it.
Uh-huh.
Well, and so switching gears, Chantal, guess who's coming back to Potomac?
Who?
Monique.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes, as a friend of, they are bringing her back. Obviously, Karen's not going to be in there, and then Mia, which like thank God is not on there. And also, do you know who they cast on Beverly Hills?
Yeah, I did see that. Rachel Zoe, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited for that one. If
Okay,
it's not
so
gonna be the situation of like what I was telling you, like the New York City girl, the purse designer. Like if it's not gonna be like that type of situation where they just think that they're cooler and different, but I think she will bring it.
well, here's my thing is again, I don't know why they're casting the way they are. Okay, I like okay, for example, Monique, I would have loved, okay, not, I know this is kind of shady. I would have loved to see like about her relationship, but I loved seeing her relationship. I love seeing her family home. Something I'll never forget about Monique is that she potty trained at 9 months old, unhinged, but I loved it. I loved her parrot. Like she was honestly my favorite. But it's like so annoying that they constantly bring people who are, divorced and I don't know. I mean, I do like watching though. I over just like a single one. I do like watching someone who's like divorced and going through it and like kind of navigating life. But it's like bring back Real Housewives when there was like a family unit. Like, why are we so afraid of family units? I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, it's probably best because like the show ruins people. But it's so weird how we don't see a family unit and how they like encourage that.
I know, and I think maybe a lot of family units are just scared to come on the show. That's probably what it's harder to find that.
But there's so many that do wanna be on this show and that their husbands are, like, bet down, you know? So it's I don't think that they're doing that and not choosing family units because it's hard to find. I think that they're just, like, finally and Monique honestly shouldn't have even went back because they treated her like shit, dude, because I don't believe she should have ever gotten fired. I know that's an unpopular opinion, I just don't.
I just
And
wonder
I
how
don't
her and Giselle are gonna act towards each other.
I know, and I don't like how Giselle iced her out. I hate that. I hate when people ice people out. Like, I cannot like someone, but the second everyone's trying to ice them out, I'm like, no, no, I'm not okay with this. But I don't know. I do miss the family unit of the Real Housewives. I just do.
I
Maybe
know, I
that's
agree for sure.
old school me. I'm not sure, but let's get into the episode though, because a lot of red flags with Brit.
Oh my god, like this episode was not good for her, you guys, and like especially again, like with this news that just came out, it was not good for her.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, like, is that we will talk in the end. Shamia was being a little bit passive aggressive
I
towards
wrote
her.
that too. I wrote
Yeah,
that too.
like I was feeling that type of energy, but then it's like the way that she comes at it, you're just like, oh my gosh.
I know. So we start off the episode and Angela's husband's not answering her call and she's like, I can't stand him. And that tells me this happens quite a bit or that so what happens is like when you're going to have a scheduled FaceTime or something. So the cameras know it too. And what like you'll like text someone ahead of time and being like, "Hey, I'm going to FaceTime you and it's going to be on camera." So she for sure let Charles know that that's what's going to happen. And so she calls him, the cameras are on her, and then he doesn't answer. And that's why she's like, I can't stand you. Because they know when you're calling them on FaceTime. So he's so messy for that.
He's so messy, but she had a good excuse. She's like, you know what? He's
I
probably mad at me.
know.
Yeah, she's like, and that's true though, because like a lot of couples do act that way. Like when one couple goes out of town and like, you get mad or something for whatever reason, and then he's probably and she's like, so it was like a relatable excuse. I don't know if that was really true in her situation, but she's like,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. She's like, he's probably
Yeah.
mad at me. It's like, no, he's like, that's why I feel bad for her because like a lot of people do talk about her marriage, but then her marriage does not look good sometimes. So it's like, I hope they both can see this and be like, okay, we need to change.
Yeah, I was like so sad for her. And then when she finally gets a hold of him, it's not like he doesn't say anything nice. He's not like, oh, he's not like, oh, you look good or whatever. And
I'm
I mean,
so sad that we missed our anniversary together too. Like,
yeah.
lovey-dovey. Like, there was no love in that. And like 8 years is a long time. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but also like show the love.
I mean, I appreciate that he's not changing for the cameras. Like, I respect that. Like, I mean, I think about
Sometimes
Wendy's
they don't
husband.
realize how they act.
Well, I don't think he gives a shit, to be honest. He's like our uncle. Like, he just doesn't care. Like, Wendy's husband, he's someone, or even Karen Huger's husband, there is someone who, really acts up for the camera in the best light possible to make sure they look like a good husband to their wives. And I feel like that's like some training. And low-key, I'd probably do that with my husband too. I would say that. Now, do I know if my husband would? Yeah, he probably would like follow. He would never act like how Charles is acting. It's just, It's too much, but that is valid. When someone goes on a trip on your anniversary, I'd be acting like that with Jacob. I'd be so mad, and I would be like acting like I don't want to talk to you because you like left on your anniversary and stuff. And maybe that's toxic of me, but I would be acting like that. But I just feel like he acts like that no matter what.
Yeah, which again, it doesn't show them in a good light, and especially when everyone's talking about their marriage, like you want to defend that for her because you feel bad for her, but then you're like, okay, but what I see is not great either.
Yeah.
So I understand where the ladies are coming from with all these like rumors and like talking because they know they've been hearing it. Hey cousins, let's talk mental health. I think we all know someone, maybe even ourselves, who could have really used therapy but didn't know how to get started. Cost, insurance, time, it all gets in the way. That's why I love what RHOA is doing. RHOA, spelled RULA, is a healthcare provider group that's changing how we access therapy. They've got over 15,000 therapists and psychiatrists nationwide, and they match you based on what you actually need, whether it's a talk therapy, medication support, or both. I haven't personally used RHOA yet. I've seen how powerful therapy can be for myself, and I've seen what it could do for my close friends. One friend told me the hardest part wasn't asking for help, it was finding someone to actually give it. That's the gap RHOA fills. RHOA accepts major insurance, so your session could cost as little as $15, and once you're in, you're not alone. They help you schedule, follow up, and make sure you're moving towards real progress. This isn't some one and done platform. RHOA actually cares. If you've been thinking about therapy but didn't know where to start, this is it. Visit RHOA.com/TRH and take the first step toward feeling better. That's RULA.com/TRH. And when you sign up, make sure to tell them our show sent you. It helps us and helps you. One more time, that's RULA.com/TRH. Affordable, personalized care because you deserve to feel heard.
This episode is sponsored by Factor. All right, let's be real. Summer with 4 young kids at home is wild. Between work, camps, play dates, and just trying to keep up, cooking is the last thing I want to spend hours doing. That's why I'm so glad I found Factor. More sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer, spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, no prep, no mess. And with 45 weekly options, I can find meals that fit my goals and my crazy schedule. I've been loving the Protein Plus chicken meals and the breakfast egg bites. They're actually delicious and they keep me going all day. Factor powers your day from sun up to sundown. And trust me, with 4 kids, that's a long day. I use Factor and you should too. It has seriously saved me so much time and helped me stay on track with eating well, even on my busiest days. Get started at factormeals.com/TRH50off and use code TRH50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code TRH50off at factormeals.com/TRH50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/TRH50off.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino. A meal isn't just about what's on your plate. It's about what you bring to the table. San Pellegrino believes the table is where the best of life happens. That's what makes gathering around it so rich and rewarding. And with their unique sparkling natural mineral water, San Pellegrino brings its best so you can bring yours.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Looking for an AI glow-up that passes the office vibe check? What? AI that only knows the internet doesn't make sense for business. Get AI trained on your data at IBM.com. The AI built for business, IBM.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
At the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, get deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Now's the best time to get that Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with America's Best Warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of limited complimentary maintenance. Don't think you can get away with all that? Think again. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. It's a great day for a new Hyundai.
This episode is brought to you by Tic Tac. Summer tastes like Tic Tac. Tantalize your taste buds this sunny season with citrus adventure and orange. 2 everyday flavors that bring summer in every. Tic Tac Citrus Adventure is a yummy, vibrant medley of lemon, lime, and mandarin. And Tic Tac Orange is the perfect mix of tangy and sweet. Visit us at Tic Tac USA on social to refresh your summer with Tic Tac.
Walmart Business is in the business of helping your business, regardless of whether you're building bridges, building spreadsheets, or building lesson plans. Ooh, that looks fun. Walmart Business can help save you time, money, and hassle so you can focus on what you're building instead of what your supply closet is missing. In short, we take care of business so you can do more with yours. We're the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
This episode is brought to you by PetSmart. Stop by for Yappy Hour with your pet at PetSmart. Save $5 on walk-in grooming services like nail trims, ear cleaning, brushing, and more. No appointment needed every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m. And while you're there, Yappy Hour includes exclusive in-store deals like 25% off pet toys. Visit services.petsmart.com/grooming to learn more.
Brit is such a pick-me girl when she's like, I'm not going to take shots because I'm not a college girl. And she's like, I'm a wife. And it's like, girl, be so for real. At the end, you had your tits all out.
I know.
Which is kind of concerning, though.
No, she's saying that because she threw up and she's embarrassed. And now she's trying to act all classy and be like, I don't do this. This is why I don't take shots. It's like, okay.
Well, and then she even said,
if you don't do that, then you should have not taken it.
Well, she even said, she like shots, Shamia encouraging shots is like super hood rat. And it's like, just again, it's just weird that she's trying to act so classy. Like she didn't come on to the show a few episodes in and immediately threaten someone with a pistol. Like exactly. That went away. That's all we can think of when we think of you. But here, and I was talking about this with one of our girlfriends when we talk about the show. And I am a little concerned about this scene with Shamia kind of saying shots. And then Brit is very much like a victim where she's going to act like I was pressured to take these shots.
No,
and
I'm
then
sorry. You're old. No, there's no such thing.
I know.
No,
but
like,
even with I was put in environments.
Yeah. Okay. You're in control of your own environment. Like that. They're old women. They're older women, not old women. They're older women. Like it's not like they're 21, 22. Like, and like you can kind of like shape someone else's impression and try to get them to feel peer pressure. Like you're in your mid 30s, early 40s. You know how to handle and say no.
She's 37.
Yeah. So exactly. You think even at my age, at 33, someone can peer pressure me to take shots? Absolutely not. It wouldn't happen.
Why do I feel like she's so much older?
Really?
I mean, like, it's like, yeah, because like I think about like a Sierra and Paige. Well, actually, isn't Sierra younger?
Yeah, no, Sierra is younger, way
Okay,
younger.
let's say Paige. Paige DeSorbo. She's what? Like
30,
30.
I think she's
She's 32.
33.
She's gonna be
Okay.
33.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be 33, and it's like I like like I don't
Yeah,
know.
very, very different.
We're just getting old, Chantel, and Amanda's 33, and like they seem young to me. So, and 37's young, but she just like looks older.
Again, she tries to act. I think she tries to act like that too. Like she likes to. And like, you never know like where you're from and your environment and stuff like that you have to kind of give that impression sometimes.
I thought it was funny how Kelly was explaining how the ladies are going out for the day and how she picked for each group to go. Because again, that is not up to Kelly to do that. That's Bravo, and that's Bravo telling her to say that. So, and I'm not Bravo production, right? To telling them to say that. They pick the groups, they pick how things happen. So the only thing that the production crew doesn't pick is like the room assignment.
What did you think about Shamia bringing up that morning, like when they were talking about it, like she brings up to Brit, like the whole like Phaedra, because my favorite line from last episode was Shamia was like saying, ain't nobody talking about that, but what we are talking about is leaving your event still hungry. Like you can
Right.
tell like she's so over her and like her antics, because like it's like the way she presents herself is not the way she acts to them. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like she's almost like there's like a fake facade, and I think Shamia like picked it up on it, and that's why she's so angry inside. She just hates fake people.
Yeah, and then yeah, like you're carrying a Birkin around. There's like this
All her
charity.
stuff, which you don't realize because you're not really good designer, she's always wearing designer.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And like the showy designer, where like I know, like I'm sure some of the ladies are wearing designer and I can't tell because it's like not as showy, but everything she's wearing is all designer.
See, I hate people like that. Like
Mhm.
not that I hate people like that. I'm sorry. I'm saying I hate people like that who clearly are trying to keep up with the Jones, and then is it Jonesy or Jones? I don't know.
Jones.
Yeah, they're trying to keep up, but then like when it's like time to show up, you're sitting there bringing paper towels.
Or you're letting your friends leave your event hungry, or you're not like it's like
Right,
you
you're
don't.
being cheap about
Yeah,
shit
you're being
about
cheap.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, when you're hosting or you don't want people to come to your house because you don't wanna like provide a meal and provide, because like if it's your first season, you're gonna have to go all the fuck out, okay? That's what this is. That's why you're cast on the show. And it's like the only thing you're going out is like your outfits and your appearance, and no one gives a shit.
But you know what? Actually, like maybe like they need to, because Phaedra is so crazy. Like she called out, who did she call out today? Oh, she called out
Drew.
yeah, Drew, and she said Timu looking out, man. I'm like, oh, that's why she's so funny, but she's so
They're
crazy.
so mean to Drew.
I know, they really are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I don't know. I didn't see her outfit, but I mean, if half the time they're wearing designer, that is not something I'd want to wear ever and think it's cute. So just because you wear designer doesn't mean it's nice.
Exactly.
So at dinner, they're coming for Brit, and on one hand, I think we were saying like we feel like it's fair. She talks a big game, and then when it comes to showing up, she showed up with very little at that at Kelly's, like, what was it, Kelly's charity? Or
Yeah, and I think it was actually her dinner or something, where I don't know, unless I missed it last episode, but this episode Portia ends up saying to us like how she said to them, like, I feel like that you guys are not supportive.
no, but I'm
And
talking about like what was Kelly's thing that everyone was donating to?
oh, they were donating to Grenada, like where they are going, because there was a hurricane that wiped out
Oh,
the.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like where they're going is what they were donating to. It was
And
Shamina and Kelly, like they wanted to do this for this trip.
yeah, and so she was the only one who showed up. That is kind of embarrassing,
Well,
dude.
She showed up with like
Paper
paper towels,
towel.
which is embarrassing. And I think she probably was embarrassed. And then she said, "I'm gonna give you cash." And then they called it out and said that she only gave $250. And then Phaedra almost had a heart attack, and she's like 1,000 minimum. And we know Phaedra is very like giving. And like
Married to Medicine. She was
yeah,
forced
literally
to
she like
donate.
donated like so much money. But like she's like, we get our nails done for $200. Like I don't know what nail stylist you guys are going to in Atlanta, but that's what she was saying. She's like, we get our nails done for $200. Like why can't you give more? And I feel that way too. Like if you're going out to dinners and spending $100, you should be giving that and more sometimes. Like you have it.
Well, I know some people will be like, look, at least she showed up and brought something, but you're on the Real Housewives. We're not talking about regular people. It's your first season. The way to get on the show is because you have it. We're like out here watching, and maybe half of us don't have it. And we're watching these people who do have it, and we love watching it. So it's like, that's something we would do. Okay, maybe, bring some paper towels and like
No,
$250 cash.
I would know like what needs to happen.
100%.
And again, like people know where like what kind of net worth you have. So like what you give, like if someone who doesn't have that much gave that, that'd be very appreciative, but someone who again is showing up the way she did, yeah, it's weird. And then it also like just saying like I should have known better. Sorry, like I'm gonna give more. Can I give more now? Like it's like taking the accountability part of it.
But here's the thing, like with Phaedra, she got pressured to donate to American Medicine, and literally it was the most sour taste in her mouth that she literally left the show and never wanted to talk to them again. So I don't think you should pressure someone to donate, but she just looked petty because of how she talks and how she comes across.
Yeah, exactly.
And when Shamia called it out, where she threw some shade about it, listen, I will say, I hate when someone throws shade and it's clearly about you. And when you confront them, they try to turn it around. Like, are you insecure about something? Does it feel relatable to you? So with this, I was like thinking to Shamil, like I was kind of annoyed with her because I was like, you should have just owned it from the beginning and said, yeah, I am being
100%.
shady towards you. Because like, I hate when people do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it made it look like she was scared to say something, and like even though she was just running her mouth to everyone, so it's like you should have just said like, yeah, I didn't like how you came to my house. You showed up in a Rolls Royce in a Birkin, and you gave what you gave. Like that.
Well, it's clearly about Brit. So like, and you know it's about Brit, and Brit's like saying, "Are you talking about me?" And you're saying no, and it's like, wait, but you are though. So like, why are you making her sound like she's fucking crazy right now? Like it's clear as day that you are talking about her. So. That was that. I think that Shamia, the way she went about it was like, no.
And then what did we think about Kelly actually like saying to her? She kind of said the same. She kind of said like maybe Brit doesn't know, but you should have gave more. Basically, that's what she said. And Brit did not like that.
And listen, that's fair. If that's like my actual best friend, I don't know that they're actually best friends though, like I think that they're alliances for the show, but do I know that they're best friends? I think she said it in the best way possible, but I also think she was shocked by how Brit came out and didn't really give much. Like, I really think that she was like underwhelmed and she's like, ew, girl, like look at you every day, looking like this. And that's what you're going to bring. So I think it was to show she was kind of annoyed about that, but she said it in a politically correct way. And I think when it comes to Brit, like Brit's the type who thinks everyone has an issue with her. Like she thought Kenya did, mentioned Portia, then like this whole thing. She thought Drew had a problem with her. She's like a certified victim. I know that's our favorite words, but like,
I know it is.
Sorry.
But that's like what you do in like your job, HR, and even my job when I'm hiring people is like, we try to ask questions to find out not the victims, because that's what happens. Those victims will come after you and sue you.
Oh my gosh, 100%. Oh yes. Like,
yeah,
totally.
Like you guys should have a freaking thing on your Bravo. Like, should I hire them? And it's like a victim, like personality quiz.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like a victim response, like how they were with leadership. Like, did they take ownership? Like things like that, dude. Because I swear to God, those people, no. They're not, you don't want those people in your corner. And I swear she gives off that demeanor anyway. So it's like, I don't know how they cast it. It's like, they should have never showed the Kenya thing, period. Like if they were going to fire Kenya, I know that they were like probably excited. They're like, we're going to make good TV, but they should have never even showed it.
It's like all backfiring on all of them.
I know. Brit then ends up like talking. So Portia calls her out and she's like, listen, and I thought this was funny when Portia said that. And because she was like, she says, she wants us to support her. She had a problem that we don't support her. And it's like, I don't even know you yet. Like, relax. You haven't even invited me to your house. And Brit, and that gets brought up basically in a nicer way. And Brit, you can just tell is a very sensitive person. And she even got sensitive that Portia asked who she was when they were first all getting introduced and that her number wasn't stored. Now, it does say the number could be Brit Eady. So that was messy because Portia obviously knew who it was. Because Apple does that where even if you don't have it stored, it'll say like this number could be this name. So it's like, whatever, but nothing to get like all mad about.
No, not at all. I think the biggest thing too about the whole situation is like, especially because you are the newbie, like you absolutely should be the one reaching out and saying, "Hey, come to my house," and like, and trying to set up a lunch with them. Like, you should be the one doing that, not
He's
them.
being
Like,
stingy.
and like, yeah, like who are you? Like, like you're the one that should be like, yeah, that's like, it's like I would want to feel that someone's like trying to court me, like when they're new and I've been on the show for so long. Like, absolutely.
I know. I was dying when Portia was like, "Does Angela got Tourette's? Because why does she holler out her business?" And I'm like, "Same. Like, why do you do it?" Because
But I know it's like, why do you do it with this group of ladies? But I feel bad. It's like she's trying to be vulnerable. Like, she is sad.
Okay, but listen, these people are very negative about her relationship, which okay, fine. But they're
I
sitting
don't
there.
think she knows, like, to the extent that what has happened. Like,
Oh, but Chantal, that one scene where they brought up the baby,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like, it's like I'm not gonna sit there and fucking say anything about my marriage in front of Brit and Kelly after that whole thing. So she really like I get it. Like I was cracking up with Portia because I'm like, dude, for real, like, why are you like putting your business out there, talking about therapy and how he didn't answer, or I don't even know. And it was too much. But it was funny though, because Phaedra in her confessional, she's like, listen, all I know is that, marriage is hard and men are crazy.
Mhm.
And Phaedra tries not to talk about marriages because that's the one thing she hated that they did about her and Apollo.
But she did like, because they did ask her something like did he act married, and she implied that he never really she never knew he was married.
Yeah, I know. But they all know. So go like they're so dumb. Like if they're hanging around someone, they're Googling his name and seeing that he's married or not married.
Yeah.
So they all leave and they get in the car. And it was at that moment that Phaedra was in the car with Brit, where she saw Brit self-sabotaging herself and being very entitled to what she expects out of these ladies and forgetting that she's the one who came in the group. And it was at that moment where I guarantee Portia's like, okay, yeah, Phaedra was like, I get why Kenny had an issue with this woman.
Yeah, and I really love this is why I love Phaedra though, because like she says it in such a good way. She's like, it's your attitude, like be nice, like like be friendly, like you're new. Why are you like why like basically like trying to say like, why are you acting like a victim all the time? Like you're gonna go down such a bad road, and like look what happens.
But I almost think that Phaedra was doing that and she's okay with it almost just because she doesn't care too much for Kenya and doesn't want Kenya to look like where people understood where Kenya was coming from. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the beef between them two, but
Yeah.
that would make sense.
So it's crazy because Shamia's in the car and she gets a phone call from her husband and her husband's pissed. And apparently, Shamia's son, and I can't relate to this personally, but my best friend has a son who has very similar conditions, have had multiple heart surgeries like prior to being 1 year old. And like constantly, and I went on vacation with her. She was constantly like, I just get worried if he gets sick, because if he gets sick, then that's like the biggest problem for me. So she's always like so.
Well, she has two girls. It's not a son, by the way.
I'm talking about my friend Karina real quick.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying like I understand this because my friend has the same
gotcha.
exact
Okay.
like situation that she does with her son, and she's constantly like, even when we were in Florida, freaking out about her son if he gets sick, and like that's like her biggest fear, and he can't get sick. So we find out that Shamia's daughter Shiloh was in a crib completely like without clothes, freezing, and this could obviously cause her to be sick. Now I know a lot of the times like people can say when you have a fever, like take off your clothes, blah blah blah, but you're like shivering and stuff, and even if that is the case, you're not the parent, so do not put the baby and think that you're a parent and try to do something that you think is the right. You need to ask and be like, what do you want me to do in this situation? Not just like put a freezing baby, not wrapped up, not swaddled, not nothing, no clothes, just a diaper in a crib. And of course Shamia feels like shit because she's out here on vacation taking shots and whatever, and like look what is happening to her child, and she's already gone through so much with this child. And I thought it was really, really sad.
Yeah, mom guilt is so real, so it's like she was feeling that so much.
I know. And it's crazy.
And you want to be there and you want to be there so badly, and you feel like shit, you feel so guilty.
Yeah. And so they all go back, and I don't know, Kelly made a phone call and she's like, we need to support Shamia. That was like awkward to me. I don't know. I'm a very awkward. I get awkward quickly though, because when Shamia like went and got her robe, I can appreciate like a bunch of people surrounding her and like praying over her, but I don't know what it's how I was raised where I find all those situations to be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would die low key.
I would
But
literally die.
what like bothered me the most with the whole situation was like Brit, the one that they were just fighting, like holding her and saying like we're here. Like it's like so it's too much. It was too much.
Oh my gosh, Brit at the end, she's like, I'm going to be there for you no matter
Mhm.
what. Like, this is bigger than our fight that we just had. And she kept going on, and it literally had me hollering. And she was just so theatrical. And again, we say this a lot, but some people just really need to enroll in a self-awareness class. They really do, because this was a moment that wasn't really about her. And she was making it about what just happened between them. And I mean, then, like some of the shots hit her because then she goes and after taking shots as hood rat, like takes off her shirt and then puts it all over the counter. And it was just like, it would be all a very confusing night for me.
Oh, for sure. The one thing I wanted to say about this episode too that made me sad is that in the car with Portia and Shamia, like you could tell they have such a great friendship, and I'm gonna be sad if they don't, if like they come on this reunion and they don't solve anything.
I think that Portia's going to come into it wanting to solve something or make the whole mom thing a huge deal and act like she'll never be able to forgive Shamia. I can see that, but it is sad because this is so much bigger than like a reality show, their friendship. So, and you can tell that Shamia really adores Portia.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I don't know still if I can see
I
Portia
just
adoring her.
What'd you say?
Like, I don't know if I can like see Portia like adoring her. I don't know. I just feel like Shamia's like way better of a friend.
For sure, but I think maybe there was like a shift, like, for her, it was something new and different to see, like, now this person on the same level as you, and like that's weird to like get annoyed about that maybe, but you could tell that they do have love for each other. They've been with each other for so long, so it's like seeing that history is like that's what we love about Housewives. It's like people that actually have history, and that's why the fights are so real too sometimes.
Yeah,
it's not like bullshit. It's not like, oh, just petty stuff.
I know. Yeah, I like this episode.
Me too. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I swear there was like one episode on the Atlanta that no, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, it was 2 weeks ago before
it was when Pedro came, and I was like, okay, I'm turning this off. I don't even care to watch it. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a good episode. Bravo's in hot water. Oh my gosh, what's so crazy is like I said, even on our Patreon before the Brit thing got released, I was like, I guarantee Brit's going to sue. And I said that if Brit sues and wins anything, Bravo's going to cancel Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh my gosh.
And like watch that happen. The fact that I called
it here first, guys. Rexian's been calling it all out.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of think 20 million is such a big deal though. Again, she's going to have medical records that show
it's not going to go to court. It's going to go to a point where one Bravo lawyers are going to say, okay, there is something here, let's settle, and that's it. Like it's not going to go further we're just going to get 20 million. Maybe she'll get 500,000 and they'll just settle. And she'll be happy with that.
Yeah, to be continued.
Like you have to take 20 million to get them so scared, like because its insurance is involved. That's why.
Yeah, crazy. Well, let us know what you guys thought about this episode, about the new hires, about people coming back, and about what you think this is going to happen with Brit. I'd love to hear it. So let us know your thoughts. But I think that's all we have. Make sure that you guys tune into our Love Island recap where we just kind of cover the first week and why Chantal doesn't like it.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great week. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.